The film series that won't die. Nearly 30 movies, one house, actually several houses, and cursed artifacts.
The Amityville Horror Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to Amityville Podcast. I'm Pat.
I'm Tom.
And today we are watching The Unspoken, which, while it doesn't have Amityville in the name, it was released internationally as The Origins of Amityville.
Yeah, the unspoken part is that is the connection to Amityville. It's unspoken because it does not exist.
Exactly. But we are trying to be thorough on our podcast. There's not enough Amityville movies to go around, so...
Yeah. They made like 2 more since we started recording these things. I hate you for talking me into this.
I think they made 2 more since we did last week's episode. There's a lot of them.
What was that old camp song? This is the song that will never end, or something like that.
This is a song that never ends.
Yeah.
It goes on and on, my friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Patrick sold this one to me because behind the scenes thing. I'm for watching all the ones with Amityville in the name, but because of the amateurish nature of the section of movies that we're in as a whole, unless they're trying to pretend it's an Amityville thing, I don't think we should do it. Like if it's after the fact, they made a movie, the people made a movie, and then they're like, oh, if we just slap the word Amityville on it, people will buy it now. That I don't think we should do because it's pointless. So this one was not. So Patrick sold it to me with for my love of Neil McDonough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of you may know him from the DC TV shows. He was Damien Dark.
Yeah, that's a Darrhk.
Yeah.
Comic books, everybody.
Not my favorite villain when he was on Arrow, but also Arrow was not that great at that stretch.
He was one of the... he was funny. I remember one crossover episode where, the Flash comes... Damien Dark is, about to kill Green Arrow, and the Flash comes in and just pulls everybody out. And he has the most, amused reaction, just wait, what just happened? Huh? But he's, he's not going immediately to anger. It's just wait, what? And it was really cute.
That's the thing. His performance was a lot of fun, but it was a villain that wasn't written well, and there were a lot of gaps of this is your big bad, and he doesn't even seem to care to be in the show.
Yeah.
Much like me watching it.
It's like Christopher Walken as Maximilian Zorn in A View to a Kill, where it's when he says, "You amuse me, Mr. Bond," it's Christopher Walken is being amused because it's what am I doing in this?
Yeah.
And God damn it, if that movie had just been about following him and Grace Jones taking over the world, far superior film. But yeah, so Patrick tried to sell it to me with Neil McDonough, and don't get me wrong, that was enough. But Patrick sold me on that because he does, honest to God, does not recognize that the top billed actor in the film is Jodelle Ferland, who is horror movie royalty.
It's a name that does not ring a bell, and you're gonna tell me who she is.
Most prominently, she plays the triple role of original Alessa, Dark Alessa, and Sharon in the Silent Hill film.
Son of a bitch.
She is Patience Bruckner, the zombie that could in the Cabin in the Woods. She is Georgia Lass's first reap on Dead Like Me. She is the girl, the doll girl in the first season of Supernatural. She is all over horror movie stuff. She is the voice of the ghost haunting Paranorman in Paranorman. Jodelle Ferland is great.
Yeah, no, I feel like an idiot. I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue.
Yeah, so I when I looked that up, it's okay, I'm officially excited about this movie now.
Yeah, which also speaks to the fact that this one has a budget and is from a studio.
Yes, we're watching it on Amazon Prime. It is a rental. Thank you, Mom. And it is it's produced by the Paranormal Activity and Insidious people.
But not Blumhouse, which also had a hand in Paranormal Activity, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I think
so.
Blumhouse made most of their initial startup money off of Paranormal Activity being such a huge hit.
Joe Del Furland also plays the little girl version of Carrie in the TV version of Carrie starring Angela Bettis. So she's also played Carrie White.
And she's also, I mean, Angela Bettis is also horror royalty.
Yeah, she is, but she's not in this film, unfortunately.
Right.
But just, you know,
yeah, no.
Patrick.
And that's the Carrie I haven't seen. I saw.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I did get around. AMC's been running the Chloe Grace Moretz one. Which
I liked that one.
I came in basically at Tommy and Sue convincing Carrie to go to prom, and so I watched from the end. So I didn't see the beginning of it. It's fine. It didn't really add much to it other than the showing the video of the locker room at the prom humiliation sequence. Mm-hmm. It does add to the oh god, you guys need to die even worse than you were going to die, which man, but I don't know, it just like that one, like I love the original Carrie because the movie wasn't afraid to have the protagonist turn into the monster and have everything that entails, good, bad, and you know the fate of the monster being visited upon Carrie. And in the TV show one, which was supposed to be a backdoor pilot, and in
oh
yeah,
all right,
yeah, that was never going to happen. No. And in like the Chloe Grace Moretz one, you can tell they really are not comfortable with just saying okay, and now Carrie is a monster that needs to die.
Yeah, they tried to make it fully sympathetic and just a revenge piece.
Yeah,
which it is. It was intended to be, but I think King wrote it basically, what if a psychic girl ripped apart everyone she hated?
Yeah.
How do we get there is the rest of the novel. But
the thing that makes Carrie have to die at the end is not that she gets revenge on the people that wronged her. She is completely entitled and should do that. It's that she kills everybody.
Right, she doesn't stop there.
She goes too far, and then she has to be stopped because there's this is the lawyer talking. There is a point where self-defense stops being self-defense.
Yeah.
So and Carrie was definitely she went above her remit, or she went beyond her remit in terms of revenge.
Fair.
Don't get me wrong, everybody in that gym was laughing at her, and so yeah.
I mean, hence the line: they're all going to laugh at you, and they do.
Laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. You know, it's like in the TV one, it's oh god, I'm blanking on her name. Tammy One on Parks and Rec. She was Kevin Costner's wife in The Untouchable. She's great. And I'm completely blanking on her name, and I'll remember it later.
I can remember Kevin Costner's wife in so many other movies, and
she's only in it for like a few minutes, and she's just there fawn.
Like, we're not talking about Madeline Stubb. We're not talking about Mary McCormick.
No, she's red hair. This is Tammy One on Parks and Rec. The not Megan Mullally, Tammy. God, she's so good in so many things, and now I'm blanking on her name. But either way.
All right. Well, you at home have probably shouted at your radio.
Yeah. Like her and Julianne Moore, great actors, and they do fine in the movies. Nobody's gonna beat Piper Laurie.
No, but that's one of the reasons I like this one is Julianne Moore is always going to be incredible. Chloe Grace Moretz is always going to be incredible. Sure. Yeah, the performances carried me through it. It didn't add much. It was it's fine. A version of the book.
It was like I was expecting it to not like it much worse. Like, whereas this one is just like, it's fine. Yeah. It's another Carrie. Which is actually kind of more or less my reaction to the new Dune movie, but that is a much longer conversation.
Indeed. But when we find an Amityville Sandworm movie, we'll talk about it.
Amityville Sandworm. Amityville Spice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the one.
The Arrakisville Horror.
The Arrakisville Horror. Oh, God.
Well, that's not what we're watching now, is it?
Stop it. No, we're going to watch The Unspoken, which God only knows what it's about. I wonder if they, Do you think they'll do, like, any post-production, throw the word Amityville in it somewhere? Because you said it was just internationally. It's
International,
like,
so I think they're not going to bother.
great. But Jodelle, who cares? Jodelle Ferland.
Boy.
Jodelle Micah Ferland, according to the Amazon Prime that we're looking at.
Yeah. All right, and this one's from 2016, and yeah, we have no idea what we're in for, but there is a budget behind this one.
Is
so
a budget. Oh, also it has Lachlan Monroe, which he was in like he's originally, I think he came like to prominence as like one of the he was in Dead Man on Campus, but he was one of the best unintentional laughs in Freddy vs. Jason when all the teenagers are running out of the house when Jason starts killing people, and then a police car pulls up and everybody runs to them for help, and the window rolls down and it's that guy, and everybody in the crowd just laughed because, oh man, they're doomed.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway. All right. Let's watch this thing.
All right. See you on the other side.
Great. It's going to be great. And we are back. And the Unspoken was spoken. Actually, what the hell was... That title had nothing to do with anything.
No. Actually, the international title means a little more than the U.S. one. It turns out it was...
Origin.
It was an Amityville movie. Like, Amityville is name dropped. There are flies. No incest.
No incest. But it like the opening, we do get like a traditional Amityville beginning where we have a house, something terrible has happened, the police are there, and then we cut 17 years later. And, people are moving back into the house.
Yeah. The well-furnished house.
The well-furnished house, because we just had to dust everything off. Everything is still there.
Yep. And blanket spoiler warning, if at any point you want to check this movie out.
Yeah, you should stop listening now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about everything.
Yep.
And by everything, I mean, the stuff that happened in the beginning, and then the stuff that happened at the end, and then like the 5 minutes worth of actual content in the 90 minutes in between.
Exactly. This one, as noted on Amazon, is from the producers of Insidious and Paranormal Activity. So, yeah, there is some money to it.
The money I like.
Yeah. And it's a very good-looking movie.
This is a very good-looking movie. It has a weird, washed-out, black and whitey effect for, like, the exteriors. But that contrasts nicely with the interior, the warmness of the colors on the interiors.
Yeah.
And yet everybody, in the like costume design wise, everybody's wearing like this just kind of like poorly washed brown clothing.
Browns and grays. A lot of browns and grays.
The town is depressed.
Yeah.
The town is not Amityville. And the house is not the Amityville house. It is on 166 Briar Road.
Or as the kids in the neighborhood have spray painted the mailbox.
666.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so there's this house that has been legendary in the neighborhood as an evil house. Everybody's, stay away from the house, including the father of our main character.
Jodelle Ferland. Angela. But we skipped over, it is legendary because the first 5 or so minutes of the movie takes place in that bygone year of 1997. And the police have shown up at this house. We have no explanation why. There's blood everywhere. The cop goes in, and we get the first of an inordinate amount of, hey, this is loud scares.
That was a major problem, mainly for the first half, didn't?
Yeah,
they tapped back on it after a while, but yeah this is. Oh my god!
Quiet, loud.
If you're making a horror movie and you listen to this, please listen to us. Don't do that. It's the cat in the window scare, which they even literally did
over and over again.
But there's
like
one,
3 of the cats. There's 3 cat scares,
and I'm literally cat jumps out. It's a cheap gag. If you use it, your audience will not respect you.
Yeah. And, for most of this movie, we didn't respect the movie.
Yeah, we were there was definitely a struggle at a certain point, up to a certain point, of you're just going for the cheap gags.
Yes.
But that was while they were building a whole bunch of other things that we will get to that I would say paid off.
Yes. So the police officer is scared to death, wandering around the house. There are noises. He's being thrown around by some mysterious force, and then he finds a woman who says that we need to kill whatever is in this house. And then all of a sudden, a priest falls from the rafters, having been hung, and also has inverted crosses carved into his wrists and his forehead.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the police show up, and our first cop and the woman get out, and everything's just kind of done for like the first section of the movie. Like the police are there, and they're like, "I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Let's just go."
All they know is this isn't her blood, which we don't know how they know that, but yeah, they find lots of blood. There is the dead priest, and we're left curious.
Yeah. 17 years later,
we come upon a tree with a pentagram in blood.
Oh, you're skipping way. You are jumping.
That's the next, like literally.
Is it the tree?
It comes back to the.
They show it first.
They show it first before we find out what's going on with it. But yeah, there's a tree with a bloody pentagram on it.
Yeah.
And flies just covering it. So
I saw the flies. Yeah, I remember the flies.
Yeah.
Which, that was good, because if it's Amityville, there's got to be flies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then then we get this mother, Mrs. Peterson, moving into the house with her semi-catatonic son, Adrian.
Yeah.
Who's not been the same since since his father died. And Mrs. Peterson is moving in with Mr. Walker, who is a local handyman who appears to be a creep, and also Portia, who is a chef, or
I think chef general,
housekeeper.
Yeah, housekeeper, house assistant, cooking and cleaning and whatnots.
Yeah. It does beg the question: what is Mrs. Peterson actually doing?
Not a clue.
Yeah.
But I think that was inherent in what we'll find out later.
We got to stop doing that.
This is true.
It's like we'll get to the things later. We don't have to keep saying it.
Yeah. So Mrs. Peterson has people there in the house to take care of the house and the kid. And Portia, we'll
go with Jamaican.
I think so.
Yeah. Portia has a very strong Jamaican accent, or at the very least, she's playing a very caricaturish Jamaican housekeeper.
That's more along the lines. Yeah.
But everybody seems friendly, except for Mr. Walker, the handyman, who is just a skinny local creep that has a flask. And, if you're in a movie and you have a flask, you are not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the main character police detective who, you just need to drink to get through the day.
Who doesn't?
And also that means you're not to be trusted as well.
Also true.
But anyway. But none of that matter because we care about Angela.
Mm-hmm. Angela has been hired to take care of Adrian.
Yeah. This is Jodelle Furland.
Yeah. And
surprisingly normal character for Jodelle Furland. Her father is Lachlan Monroe. If you look him up, you'll understand why that's just kind of funny and weird. And he has been out of work for a little while, and so the head of the daycare that Angela works at says that she heard of somebody that needs like a full-time nanny, and this could be more money for you.
Yeah.
And so Angela rides her bike out to Briar Road, the legendary house, and she runs into a gang of toughs.
Yeah, these are the local redneck asshole college students, teens. Well, they're not in college.
They ain't going to college.
Yeah, and they might not actually have finished high school, but they are the local redneck
it's
assholes.
Yeah, they're like everybody's in plaid and wife beaters. This one guy has a hat that I swear to God, they wanted to have a Confederate hat.
Yeah,
but they correctly did not go with a Confederate hat. But part of this group is Pandy, who appears to have affection for Angela. And
They
vice
share a
versa.
kiss before the rednecks,
Oh my
pop
God.
back up.
It was so awesome. The girl was like, it's one of those great moments where you shout at the screen, now kiss. And they started kissing. And then like 5-year-olds, these rednecks, pull up in their pickup truck and honk their horn and go, what are you girls doing, kissing? This movie was made in 2016.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're rednecks and they are still out there and they still behave like that.
This is true. And then Pandy immediately turns on Angela, and we do not like Pandy for the rest of the film.
Yeah, she totally bails. She's just like, I don't like her. Like, she's weird. She's,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Even
we...
though she was coming on to Angela hard.
Oh, she was...
Yeah.
Yeah. But...
It was awesome.
She's not comfortable with herself, and she's much more aligned with the rednecks. She's part of a scheme of theirs.
Yeah.
They find out that Angela is working at this house. They have something that is in the basement there they want to get.
Spoiler alert, it's drugs.
Yeah. But it's that MacGuffin cocaine.
Yeah, it's MacGuffin cocaine. And also, as a side note, I really enjoyed that the Angela and Pandy being love interests. I enjoyed that wasn't like the most central theme to either of their characters or the movie. It's just like, hey, LGBT people can be characters in the movie, and
it's
that's
not
just part of the movie. It's not
exactly
the main. This movie is not advertised as, hey, this is an LGBT horror movie. It's just like, oh, and also there's some gay people.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, after Pandy basically hops out and says, no, it's really never brought up again.
Yeah, they have like one other scene together where they talk about it, but it's like a normal conversation in a movie as opposed to, the movie stops so we can have a stance on LGBT issues.
Yeah.
Is pretty great.
Yeah, it's a factor, and it just sets up a relationship for some loyalties without being issue driven.
Yeah. So Angela goes to the house, and she goes to the house first. That's getting it confused with the second time she goes to the house, and she tries to bond with Adrian, who again he is our resident catatonic weirdo kid in a horror movie. And as my buddy Steven always points out, the minute these kids show up in a movie, or like, let's be real, in real life, just murder them. They are going to end up killing you. They're either going to kill you or be the cause of your death.
Yeah, but that's advocating killing a lot of kids who are just awkward.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Okay. Well, agree to disagree.
Fair.
As
History will prove me right.
I was an awkward kid, and I know a lot of people tried to murder me as a child, so I would rather, err on the side of...
I mean, you haven't ended the world yet.
I'm working on it.
I know you are. And then, like I said, we would have been correct to murder you in your crib.
In my defense, I'm in my 40s, and I haven't gotten around to it. I am a bit of a slacker.
You're lazy. Like, the world shouldn't have to rely on your laziness to continue to exist.
Let's just talk me up to being a meh Christ.
Fair. A meh Christ. Angela tries to have her first interview and or bonding session with Adrian, but Adrian has disappeared and is like going into the woods or maybe near a shed, and Mr. Walker's not having that.
No. I mean, as the caretaker, greenskeeper, whatnot, I mean, who knows what this kid's gonna do with his weird bloody noses and stuff moving around him.
Yeah, and it cannot be understated that Mr. Walker has to be local because he is terrified of this house.
Yeah.
Like, he does not want to be there at all.
Yeah, doesn't want to go in there, doesn't want to, yeah.
No, and I do not blame him. But so, Angela, they call it a wash for that day. Angela leaves, and Mr. Walker is just kind of off to the side, drinking from his flask and considering his life choices when he finds the bloody pentagram carved into the tree with all the flies, and a dead dog. Mm-hmm. And it was at this point that Patrick and I were getting particularly bored until the dog woke up.
Yeah, because it's a definitely at least week or two old dog corpse.
Bones are sticking out, intestines are
decayed, like kind of crumbly, like
it is dissolving.
Yeah, and it just wakes up and lunges and bites his jaw off.
Yeah, we're talking like, and this is like, it is Mirrors level graphic. Mm-hmm. This guy's jaw being ripped off, and nothing in the movie. This is like about a half hour in. Nothing has set this level of gore up.
No, not even remotely. This was just okay. Well, this is the movie we're watching now.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it is honestly of. Not that there are a ton of jaws being ripped off in movies in general, but this is probably one of the best looking ones I've seen.
It looked really good. Yeah. Like, this is where the money is going. Like, type of good. Like, it takes a while, and you see everything being ripped apart by this decomposing dog. And it's kind of like how Al Pacino describes the robbery crew in Heat. It's like everything will be fine, and then at the drop of a hat, they will rock and roll. That's this movie.
Yeah,
which is good. You will have to sit through 40 minutes of not rock and roll.
Right, but when it hits, oh shit!
Oh man, it's gonna be great. So dead dog murder.
Yeah, so Mr. Walker, who we were thinking might be like a sympathetic character later, or, you know, he turns the corner and turns out he's actually the side hero,
don't judge a book by its cover character.
Yeah, or even like Grady from The Shining of like, okay, caretaker, kind of weird, but shows up at the end just to be a last... Halloran, Halloran.
Grady's a different kind of hero.
True. Yeah.
I really don't advocate killing children. I know this is going to turn into a running gag, so I just want to make it clear right now. My name is Tom. I don't want any children to be murdered ever.
At least not because of this podcast.
Ever. I didn't qualify it. Jesus.
I'm only qualifying if any of our listeners have a time machine and want to eliminate Hitler. It won't happen in our timeline because he exists. Yeah. But you can create a timeline without a Hitler.
Fair.
Quantum physics aside.
Yes. So Angela goes back, interspersed with Angela, like going back to the house. We have, or actually no, the police are there at the house the next day, and we finally get Neil McDonough, who just kind of pops into the movie. Like, I thought, like, they really never established that he was one of the police in the beginning of the film, as I had suspected.
Right. Well, we're left to suspect who the cop is these 17 years later.
Yeah.
We assume it's him because he is the local cop.
Yes, even though he looks drastically more weathered for his 17 years of rural policing.
So, spoiler, he's not the cop from the beginning.
Spoiler, he's not the cop from the beginning, but he's still Neil McDonough, and that is awesome.
Yeah, he's charming as hell. He is the town sheriff you want to have.
Yeah, no, he's great. Like, the redneck assholes end up harassing Angela later, and he just, disarms the situation and arrests one of them, but in, like, the good kind of way of just like, yeah, I gotta take you in now. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, you're picking on her. She's not going to rat you out. I still see what's going on. Here's a violation. I'm taking you in because I know you're a piece of shit, and so we're just going to go ahead and, nip it in the bud now.
But he lets the other two guys take the car. He's not impounding it or anything. He's not messing them up. He's like, this is how we keep the peace in the small town. Exactly.
There are repercussions. I am watching you. Let's leave it here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, he's just generally charming, which is kind of his MO as an actor.
He's just great. But so they're investigating the disappearance of Mr. Walker and the dead dog. And I do love, like, the cute little moment when he's, like, leaning over the dead dog because he sees something, and he says to the dog, "Excuse me."
Yeah, what a nice touch. Yeah, like, he's even courteous to the corpse of a dog.
Yeah. But so Angela shows up there, and we have, like, another not great day. Or actually, so while Angela is arriving, the redneck people are also, taking a look, surveying the house because, again, they're drugs. They're gonna act like it's something else, but it's just drugs.
Yeah.
Because they hid the drugs in the haunted house because why would the cops ever look there? And that is the first and last smart thing they do in the entire movie.
Yeah. They weren't established as very smart characters.
I'm not saying it's...
No, they were consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so Angela ends up, while the police are investigating outside, the mom goes off to drop things off at Goodwill and do grocery shopping. Angela goes to play with the kid, with Adrian, and Portia is in the kitchen preparing lunch. And then as increasingly creepy stuff is starting to happen between Angela and Adrian, that's the boy's name.
Yeah.
Portia is privy to just full poltergeist action in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's no like slow ramp up of, a cabinet door sort of opens. It's cabinet doors rattle and then she turns around and literally all of the dishes are out of the cabinets on the countertop. Boom.
Doors are opening and slamming, chairs are running around, are like flying around and everything. And then Portia it happens so rarely in any movie, let alone horror movies, the exact appropriate reaction to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
She gets in her car and she drives away and never returns.
Yep. No more Portia in the movie.
Nope.
Doesn't get killed. Doesn't have some sort of a sad or ironic fate.
Nope.
She just sees this shit and gets the fuck out of there.
Yep.
Good call.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually, you see the whole scene from Adrian's bedroom window and Angela's just looking out and this hatchback just peels out doing this U-turn and just like, nope.
Yep.
Goodbye. She does, and it's even better because it's like she didn't go upstairs to get Adrian or Angela or warn them or anything.
No,
She's
she is just out the door and gone. The
out.
only detail I would have added would be if she had rolled down the window and gave the house the finger on the way out.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been nice.
It would have been tempting fate.
This is also true.
Yeah, no.
So
she had the eyes on the prize, which is to say, surviving.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, upstairs, we've got Adrian is hiding. Adrian and Angela are playing marbles, and Adrian hits the one marble super hard. It goes under the door of the closet.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Well, no, it actually isn't. But I don't know how many people are familiar with the rules of marbles. You gotta want to keep it in the circle, but which they hadn't drawn. But, I mean, it's marbles. Who actually does really know?
Angela's a bad babysitter.
Kind of. But marble goes into the closet. Between cutting, at some point, we lose track of Adrian. She thinks that Adrian's in the closet because there's a knocking coming from the closet until she sees the blanket on his bed moving and realizes he's hiding under the bed, not the one knocking from the closet.
And then she literally says, but who's in the closet?
Little on the nose.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was really, it's stupid, but it was charmingly stupid.
Yeah.
But if you're there, who's in the closet?
Mm-hmm. But much like Portia, they get the fuck out of that room.
Yeah.
Go downstairs. The mom shows back up. There's an intruder in the house. Mom just grabs a baseball bat, goes up, and let's take care of this. Opens the door. Nothing's in the closet. Shock upon shock.
Yeah, I was on board with the mom. This is like, yes, good. Bring weapons, investigate, but also let's call the police right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did we have Pandy showing up? No, Pandy's the next day.
Oh no, that was right after that.
Was that was the same day as Pandy?
Okay, so
Pandy is the love interest again, which what a stupid name.
Yeah. So after all of that goes on,
if your name is Pandy, we love you. Please keep listening to our podcast.
So Pandy shows up at the house while they've all taken off to do a thing.
Yeah.
While
the mom
Adrian's gone, mom is gone. Pandy shows up at the house.
She's trying to use Angela as a way to sneak in and surreptitiously get the drugs out.
Right. Unfortunately, while she does get to the basement, it's not under the best circumstances because she goes through the basement door and then just gets thrown against the wall and choked out
by a mysterious force.
Yeah.
And then she gets, like, yanked. Like, it looks as if, like, an invisible hand is yanking her entire body into the basement.
Mm-hmm. Thrown right down the stairs. Door slams. Phone then gets also thrown right under the door, down to the basement. We don't see Pandy for a little while after that.
And that's when the rednecks harass Angela on the way home. Because they want to know what happened to their sneak.
Yeah. They know that they have a connection. They don't even try and play nice about it. They are just full-on redneck asshole bullies.
They're really dumb. Yeah. They're really bad at their job.
Yeah. If their one job is being redneck assholes, I guess they nail it.
Yes, but like clearly they're also drug dealers.
Yeah.
And they lose their drugs.
They lost their drugs. They have no charm. They have, like, who are they dealing these drugs to? I would assume if I bought anything from them, it would be stepped on pretty hard.
With, like, not the things you should step on drugs with.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. They would be bad.
Don't do drugs.
But so, like, throughout the movie, Angela's having these moments where she's, like, investigating stuff like related to her mother who has passed away, and all of these investigations like lead up to something horrible happening, and then she mysteriously wakes up in her bedroom.
Yeah,
and
typically
touches the back of her head every time as if she's in Malignant.
Yeah, and a lot of that ties back to a lot of her dreams are of her mother saying, "You are not of this world. We are not of this world." And then putting a gun in her mouth.
Yeah.
And pulling the trigger, which is, well, how Mom is not a character in the present day. Yeah. Which I think is why she kept checking the back of her head is, Mom blew her brains out the back. So, yeah.
Jesus.
And, like, at one point, the daughter's going through, like, old boxes of stuff because she recognizes a crucifix in an old family photo.
Yeah.
That family photo shows the mom with the dad, of course, but we recognize that's the first time we really realize the mom is the character from the beginning of the movie who is being chased through the house. Oh, the cop from the beginning of the movie is her dad.
It's heavily. I don't think they ever actually say it.
They never say it out loud.
It's heavily implied that Lachlan Monroe, Angela's dad, is the cop. And another good reaction in the movie is when he finds out that she is babysitting for a kid in that house. He just says, "No, never go back to that house. Never, ever, ever." But what about never go back to that house. Just never.
Yeah. And that conversation is actually
that's maybe a little later.
It's a little bit later, but that type of conversation that they have feels natural. It feels realistic. It like she gets a job. Good for you. Here are the details. Nope. But people in this movie react like real people. They
nice.
talk like real people. There's no dragging things out for no reason. It's just, here's my reaction. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like it's natural.
Yeah, it's very natural. The only thing that's dragged out in the movie for no reason is the movie.
First half of it is
there's this whole middle chunk that's just kind of gooey and like not great.
Yeah, it's like we've given you a lot of setup. We're not quite ready for the finale, so there's a little bit of.
We have to hit feature length.
Yeah,
and this movie's only 96 minutes long, and so it's just like you could have cut out at least 10 minutes, and it would have been a lot tighter. But then it would have been, oh no, now we're definitely not a real movie.
Yeah. There's definitely much shorter Amityvilles.
No argument.
Yeah.
But not as many better. This was pretty good because, I can never stress enough how important it is how you end a thing. Because how you end a thing is how people will remember it. Look at your Game of Thrones. This movie... Yeah, exactly. For most of the movie, it's not that interesting. But then the last 20 minutes are so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Because the one redneck that got arrested gets out of jail and is like, screw this, we're going to the house and we're getting our drugs. And it was at this
by
moment,
force, by any means necessary, by whatever, we're going in there. And that's where I feel like the initial premise that somebody had for the movie comes out, because it becomes a home invasion style movie. You're, strangers, the first Purge, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Except imagine it's a home invasion movie in a haunted house.
Yes, with shitheads.
And
it's white trash, panic room, Cthulhu mansion.
And wow, does it take fun turns after that.
So good.
I'm almost hesitant to spoil some of the gags.
No, we're gonna spoil all.
We are. I know, but
people aren't gonna watch it. I had to pay $3 for this thing. People aren't gonna pay $3 for this thing, even though you should, because it's really good.
It's a blast.
It's really a lot of fun.
Once you get to this last act. Yeah, basically the house, as far as we know from the audience, is turning against them. A bunch of drill bits that were in the basement.
Oh no! Dude, you were
okay.
So we get Angela has Angela has investigated enough that she knows that she has some weird connection to this house, because there's the cross, and then she finds out from the head of the daycare center that she normally works at that Mrs. Peterson asked for Angela by name. Mm-hmm. And so she has to go back.
Yeah, and Mrs. Peterson says, "Oh, you were just highly recommended, but it's still pretty sus."
Oh God, Mrs. Peterson is now wearing all black and speaking so mysteriously. Mm-hmm. And it's just she's just full of shit.
Yeah.
But while this is happening, the rednecks are literally tooling up. They have a bag full of guns. They take the guns and they go to the house to get the stuff. And of course, once again, Mrs. Peterson has gone off somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she knows when to disappear.
She really does.
Yeah.
And almost exclusively for story purposes.
Yeah. So these guys are trying to break into the house. Angela and Adrian go hide in the basement, where they find the...
Pandy.
Yep. Pandy has been not just thrown down the steps, but hit a crossbeam, apparently, when she hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And
she's wrapped around this supporting column. It looks horrible.
Yeah. No amount of yoga can prepare you for that kind of bend.
Nope. And so then the three guys split up, and this is where we get to one of the just go for it. Just do it.
Yeah. Amityville, Home Alone.
Yeah, it just... All right. While Angela is trying to use Pandy's phone to call the police, apropos of nothing, all of these screws start floating in the basement.
Yeah. And drill bits, and
I think they're all just screws. Because the drill bits would have just gone through the floor.
Fair. I didn't wear my glasses today,
Fair.
so...
Trust me. And so all the screws go up. And then you don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, just that was weird. Okay.
That was weird. One of the rednecks is going through, stupid Call of Duty style, trying to act like he's all badass, knows what he's doing. And unbeknownst to him, he's not checking the floor at all because the floor is covered in drill bits. And so try to imagine, think of the old, the Swami type of guys that could lay on a bed of needles. Mm-hmm. But what if you didn't do it on purpose and you're an idiot?
Yeah, what if instead of carefully laying on an even balanced bed of needles where they all individually support a micro amount of your weight, you just step on one and then fall face first on the rest of them?
He face plants into 12 different screws that are at least 3, if not 4 inches coming out of the floor.
Yeah, now his face misses them, but his hand and most of his body do not.
And because they're screws, it would be tough to pull yourself out of just nails, but the screws have really dug in.
Yeah. So he is stuck to the floor.
And so the lead redneck comes in and sees this, and the redneck that's stuck on the floor, I'm sorry, they do have names. Their names are Luther, Rodney, and Logan. Other than, I can't, Luther is the head one, the tallest one. I don't know which one's Rodney. I don't know which one's Logan. But we're just going to keep calling them Redneck and Descriptor. So Floor Redneck is wailing and crying and asking for help. Luther, the head redneck, comes in, sees what's going on, quietly lifts the sawed-off shotgun that Floor Redneck had and then leaves him.
Then tells the other redneck, oh, he's fine.
And the other redneck, to his credit, he's like, he doesn't sound fine. And by doesn't sound fine, it's like, the guy is screaming, help me! Oh, God!
Oh, God, help me! Oh, God. He doesn't sound fine. Yeah. Third assistant redneck.
Yeah.
Is clearly having some doubts about how this is going.
He was never on board with the home invasion.
He didn't want to do any sort of killing. He didn't want to, he was just in it for the drug deals.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just here to deal drugs and make money. I don't want to hurt people.
Buddy, you picked the wrong business.
Saying.
So, yeah.
So he's trying to figure, so Floor Redneck's doing that. Luther goes downstairs, or he starts trying to go. Oh, he'd been trying to break the basement door open. And then after, he gets the shotgun, and then he walks back to the door, racks the shotgun, and then the door just opens up as if, okay.
It's like, fine. Oh, welcome. Now you're ready. All right. Yeah. It opens the door and then throws him down the steps.
Heck yes, it does.
He gets tossed hard down the steps. That lets Angela and Adrian escape from the basement.
Yep. And then Kitchen Redneck, that was our reticent redneck. Mm-hmm. He decides correctly to hell with this and goes to leave, but the house will not let him leave at this point.
He has already established himself as a threat, so...
Knives. Kitchen knives. Floating kitchen knives. Mm-hmm. You hear, you see the knives start moving and floating, and then it cuts to Angela and Adrian in another room, and you just hear, several rapid thunks and a scream. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, people, Floor Redneck... is not going out like this.
Oh, yeah. He's still fighting.
He reaches behind him into the back of his jeans and pulls out the semi-automatic pistol he also had and starts shooting randomly through walls at Adrian and Angela. And because the walls are thin, this is actually a concern.
Yeah, this is a threat.
Empties the entire magazine. People, this is where the movie goes from good to great. He empties the magazine. He shoots every bullet in the magazine, releases the magazine, reaches into his pocket and pulls out another magazine, and then one-handedly, in a pool of his own blood, starts trying to reload the pistol.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I know. We're not doing it justice. We are not doing this justice.
There's no way to do it justice. But yeah, he's trying to reload the gun while still fully screwed to the floor.
Flailing,
screaming, bloody. As he's trying to reload it, all of the taps in the house go on.
Yep.
Including
the water taps.
The water taps, yeah.
And they are all set to
hot gold. Including the bathtub at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
And the gun and the clip and the other empty clip all start getting dragged towards the bathroom. And then so does he. He gets yanked off all these screws.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It is unclear. If he is lifted off of the screws first.
Or just kind of...
Or just pull through.
Raked over.
Yeah. Either way... my God!
Either way, he is pulled down the hallway, thrown in this boiling, scalding bath.
He is thrown into the air and then unceremoniously dropped into a full claw bathtub, a clawfoot bathtub full of scalding hot water. And out of it can only be described as Emil from RoboCop post-toxic waste. All of his flesh is melting off.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
So he doesn't have a good ending, despite being the reticent one.
No, that wasn't the reticent one. The reticent one...
The reticent one is not nailed to the wall, right?
In the kitchen.
Knife to the wall, nailed to the floor.
And that's when Luther pops back up. Because Luther didn't die.
Oh, no, he was just thrown down the steps. He's been beaten a little, but...
He looks rough, and he's very angry. And so he's going after Angela. And Angela, of course, like any good horror movie heroine, is running up the stairs.
Where she bumps into-
she did try to get out.
She did try to get out, but the house was locked.
Yeah, the house is locked. It's not letting her out.
And then she bumps again into her mother, who says, "God cannot save you. We are not of this world."
Yes. And then she gets out, and then she goes downstairs and finds Luther being pulled into position by an unseen force. But it's at this point that we find out that the unseen force is Adrian.
Dun dun dun. Now, Luther has gathered up all the drugs in the basement. He was thrown out of the basement. He did gather up all the drugs, got them together, and wants to get out of the house. So, he takes Adrian hostage. And I will kill this kid.
Adrian turns the tables on him. Right.
This is how we find out. Like, he's got, oh my God, the kid's, in danger. Oh no, the kid is the danger.
The kid is the danger. The kid is the one who knocked on the closet door with his brain.
So Luther gets thrown to the ground. Angela is figuring out what's going on as everything's starting to rattle. The chandelier starts to shake. And
now, understand, this is not like your traditional glass crystal looking chandelier. This is a wrought iron monstrosity that has a 12-inch long spike aimed towards the ground.
Yeah. This is a chandelier somehow more deadly than the one in War of the Roses.
Yes. It's like Lydia Dietz designed this chandelier.
Yeah. Like if you take War of the Roses, the White House chandelier from Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
And Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
The killing power of those three chandeliers, just put it all into one wrought iron.
All at the behest of
death.
A, disaffected, angry young child.
Yeah.
Named Adrian. Why would you name him Adrian? You're just asking for trouble.
But
so he gets murdered.
Yeah, Luther doesn't make it. Spoiler: the chandelier.
Shocker. And at this point, Dad has shown up and is trying, much like Halloran in The Shining, is like, Angela, I gotta help you. And Adrian does not want to be separated from Angela. It starts choking Lachlan Monroe with his mind.
Mm-hmm. So Dad's struggling on the porch. Mom shows back up.
Oh, no. But before Mom shows up, Dad is saying, you have to kill him. I was wrong. Your mother was right. This is evil. You have to kill the evil in this house.
Yeah. You're I never believed her, which gets reinforced in a moment. But he basically kill the kid. Yeah. Just kill the kid. The kid bad.
Angela takes the biggest butcher knife that is available and is begging Adrian to not make her do this.
Yeah. Save my dad. Let him go.
Yeah.
Just chill out.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
Do this thing. Do this first.
And then Mom shows back up.
Yeah. Mom shows back up. We forgot the actual part where it's revealed that it's Adrian. It's when Luther was trying to shoot Angela and all of the bullets magically stop. There's too much good shit in this last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Luther is literally, he shoots Angela and nothing happens, and then the bullets are on the floor, and then he just empties the clip, and all of the bullets are just laying on the floor, and nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
It's fucking Matrix Reloaded. It's Neo stopping all of the bullets, and them all falling harmlessly, and then it's revealed that it's not the house, it's Adrian.
But imagine Neo has no idea that that's a possibility.
Oh no, it's great.
Angela's just looking at it the fuck now?
Yeah, at that point, it's wait, is Angela a ghost or an alien
does she have the powers? There is something, and it's protecting Angela and Adrian.
Yes.
And then we find out it is Adrian, because, he throws Luther, chandelier.
And then all the other stuff we just saw. Mrs. Peterson shows up and reveals that they're aliens.
Or demons or something.
Nah, they're aliens.
All we know is...
No, she says we're from a different world.
We're from a different world, but it could be anything. All we know is they are not humans. They are not from Earth.
By that logic, it could be a historically black college.
God damn it.
If you want to, friends, if you ever want to just completely derail a fun, nice conversation, just reference an old 80s sitcom that, has so much information stored in the person you're talking with that all of it gets unraveled immediately.
Yeah. Look, if I'm here to talk about Kadeem Hardison on a horror podcast, I'll bring up Death with Temptation and we'll go with it.
Or Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah, Kadeem Hardison's pretty great.
Yeah.
But no, they're aliens. Like, she specifically says it's like, all you humans always pretend that we're ghosts or demons or something. She says that they are not that. They're aliens.
Right.
We come to this world.
They never specifically name what they are, but yes, they are from another place, and they come to our world to train their young.
It's daycare. The aliens
literally
use our planet Earth as daycare for their kids who have horrifically dangerous brain powers.
This is a safe space for them to play around, maybe kill some people as they sort out what they're doing and train themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why they needed the babysitter in the first place. And she was the daughter of a previous babysitter.
The ghost that we keep seeing.
Yeah, her mom was basically found out what was going on. Nobody believed her. That's why she killed herself.
Yeah.
Is because, she was some sort of otherworldly babysitter, and these things are maybe evil, maybe not, but they're definitely something other.
It's hard to say that they're evil because they appear to consider humans on the same way that humans consider animals. These are beasts of burdens. They're pets. They're things you can have affection for them, but they're not people.
Yeah, and this one's a cuddly one. We can keep you to look after the kid.
Yeah, exactly.
They pretend to be human enough to get by in this society, and they offer Angela the job.
Yeah.
They literally, as Angela is now trying to make sure her dad is okay out on the front porch. They're like, we like you. He likes you. He protected you. If you want to come with us, feel free to come with us.
Yeah.
We
like you. And by the by,
passed the audition. Good first week. You're our babysitter if you want to be one for this interdimensional space deity demon thingy.
And by the by, if just to sweeten the deal, you're going to be blamed for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And
the cops are showing up at the house.
Believe you.
Yeah. Who's you're holding the knife that definitely killed at least one of these guys. There are 3 dead bodies in this four.
Yeah,
4 dead bodies in this house. So you can either work with us or you're gonna probably go to jail and or commit suicide like your mom.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a bit of a hard sell.
It's still a hard sell. I think Angela made the right choice because it's just you can deal with jail. You can figure out which is to say you can deal with human consequences.
Right.
Who the fuck knows what's going to happen the longer you stay with these goddamn aliens? Because they're aliens.
So they take off, not to their home world, but as the film ends, they have to find a new location.
And they disappear. Completely from the scene. And
like Bird on soap when he went invisible.
Exactly. And Sheriff Neil McDonough shows up and is like, Angela, put down the knife. And it's like, oh, she's going. I feel like you could explain, you could explain it in a way that it's not your fault easily enough.
Yeah, I did not do this. There is no way I shoved all these screws through the floor from the basement.
No, it's just, set it up in such a way, like a trap. I couldn't have lifted this guy into the pool. There's just, physically it would be a lot, and because they established Neil McDonough as a thinking man, I feel like she might be all right. Okay. And also, the dad is there.
Traumatized for all her life.
No, she's doomed forever. But and there's also the reputation of the house. There's the previous incident.
Everyone does know some bad shit.
Yeah, I did like when the mother, Mrs. Peterson, is explaining they reuse the same places because people will expect weirdness to happen.
They specifically, they're a race of aliens or demons. They pick haunted houses, they pick spooky places just to explain, honestly, the kid's not knowing what they're doing. Yeah. Cabinets open, things fly, the kid is learning its powers. Yeah, spooky house.
Yeah.
It's an explanation of one of them I've never heard, and I love it.
It's pretty clever. And so we get to our ending shot, which is Mrs. Peterson and Adrian on the road to their new house, which is revealed to be
Amityville!
14 miles away.
Yep,
And so
it counts as an Amityville movie.
Yes, or at the very least, it's the setup for an Amityville movie that may or may not exist.
Right.
So far, we haven't found any information on if there is a sequel to this movie that continues the story of Mrs. Peterson and Adrian.
Yeah, but even if it doesn't.
Dude, how good would it be, though, if, like, Jodelle Furland could be, like, a recurring Donald Pleasant, like, Sam Loomis, like, hunting down this family, like, getting more and more grizzled as, like, the years go on? How good would that be?
It'd be kind of like...
That child is not a boy! They are not human! I shot them 6 times!
Then they shot me 6 times. None of us... We were all fine.
It was, a lot of things a lot of things were said.
Yeah. Look, we all have to get it out of our system sometimes.
Yes.
And by our system, we mean the clip and the gun that we're aiming at a child.
Yes. Which
Don't kill children.
Don't kill children. But
Don't do drugs.
But if you're in a horror movie, kill the child, because there, as it turns out, Tom was completely right that the child was the source of all the problems in the world. But also, don't kill children. Please don't kill children. Please don't kill children. But yeah, no, the Unspoken.
Go ahead and do drugs.
Okay, beginning. Kind of dull middle, except for the dog part.
Yeah.
But then, holy shit, the last 20 minutes really are great.
Oh my god. It paid everything off, and everything from the first 2/3 needs to be there. I mean,
Well,
it could be boiled down a little.
It could have been done a little bit better, or presented in a more interesting fashion. But there was a lot of the setup.
Visually beautiful performances across the board. Really liked.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, the dialogue really felt natural.
Agreed.
So I don't know what I would cut. Just that there was a lot of time not doing things towards the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say things need to be cut. It's just more like replaced with better.
Gotcha. But that said,
It's pretty good.
I wouldn't know what to change. And once you get to the end, what a ride.
Yeah, it makes up for everything.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. So, yeah.
And we have just spoiled so much of it, but God, it's fun.
You should also just watch it because it's presented very, very well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, wait, are you people listening? Do you not go and watch the movie when we say we're going to watch the movie?
Pause for response. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Excellent,
Well,
excellent.
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
It's
that
good
makes
to get
everything a lot
feedback.
clear. That makes things more clear. It's like I thought we had one type of relationship, but clearly we have a different one. And it's important that we know that now.
Look, we can't put expectations on an audience that's at least 6 to 7 weeks behind us recording these.
Yeah. There's a slight tape delay. But yeah, resale value for this Amityville horror was pretty high for me.
Pretty damn high. This is I'm gonna put it so far in the top 5.
I couldn't tell you what the top 5 are.
No, but I know that this one fits up there. Basically, this and
I don't know. Off the top of my head, like two
is still my
two
favorite.
is still the best one. But the art Enclave one.
Oh, that was a lot of
It's
fun.
like Art
too.
Enclave. It's About Time. Dollhouse. So that's 4 right there. So maybe this is top.
I'm putting this above Dollhouse.
Wait, no.
Dollhouse. I like Dollhouse.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm still putting Dollhouse in my top 5. But the Amityville Terror is definitely would be. That
was
one.
another good one.
Yeah.
There are more good ones than I thought we were going to hit.
Yeah.
This is just a moment of self-reflection. This has been a lot more fun than I think either of us were anticipating.
Yes. I was like embracing for much, much worse. This has, made everything kind of nicer.
Yeah.
But, oof. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And we almost skipped this one.
We almost skipped this one. Thank you, Neil McDonough. And more importantly, thank you, Jodelle Furland. Please making good, more horror movies. She was also Case 39. I was looking up more of her stuff. She was Case 39 in the Renee Zellweger movie, Case 39. which was
based on the book Case 39, from the stage play Case 39.
Indeed, based on the Tennessee Williams play.
The Glass Case 39.
Yeah, and actually, the Unspoken and Case 39 would not be a bad pairing because Jodelle Furland is the evil child, and much in the same way, the foster parents are trying to warn the future people, hey, don't adopt this kid. This kid is a problem. And it's like, no, of course not. You're just crazy people. No, they're not crazy. The kid is evil.
Yeah. If you have that kind of a crazy evil child, the only person that's qualified to handle it is John Ritter from Problem Child.
Or Callum Keith Rennie.
All right, fair.
Yeah, because that guy, man, is he not the Canadian all-star actor? Like, he has been on every single show. The blonde, he's the blonde, you know him.
Yeah, no. I don't know. There's a lot of Canadian TV royalty that pops up.
Sure.
And every so often you even get non-Canadian, but I guess moved there, like Mark Shepard. Definitely is not Canadian, but he has to live in Vancouver.
God, it would just be stupid. It would be cost effective, it would be less cost effective for him to live anywhere else at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he is, like, if you want to play the Kevin Bacon game for sci-fi, he's your pin.
He's pretty good, but he's been on the Doom Patrol enough lately that I think maybe he moved to Georgia.
Well, he's now a name enough because he's been that guy so often that I think he does actually have... They will budget for relocating him as needed.
Good.
But, I mean...
He deserves it.
Because like Firefly was definitely Canada.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Supernatural, 100% Canada. Mm-hmm. Galactica was Canada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a Canadian go-to that I guess, has been exported now.
He was like the John Ratzenberger for Canada.
Yeah.
Like, he was a professional Englishman in Canada.
Yeah.
Whereas John Ratzenberger for a number of years was a professional American.
Yeah.
As is Bill Pope. Or Bill Hope, rather. We've talked about this. God, we are starting to loop around.
We really are.
Things. But yeah.
X-Files, Mark Shepard, definitely also part of it.
Hell yeah. Definitely recommend The Unspoken. And I don't know which one is next week, but you'll find out next week with us.
Yep, we got to double check the lists and the release dates and availability. But yeah, you'll see it in your feed, so you're good. If you are listening to this outside of the U.S., which we have found, we have international listeners.
And not just Canada.
Not just Canada, though. Thank you. But yeah, we have, I think even, we had 1 or 2 listeners in Brazil.
That's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're listening to it outside of North America, it may be released under Amityville, the Origin, or some translation thereof.
Yeah.
But yeah, internationally it was sold as an Amityville Origin movie. So,
and to their credit, you see the name at the end of the movie, which I was not at that point. I was not expecting, but it's like, hey, good.
Yeah, for it not being an Amityville movie and named domestically, it actually was more Amityville than several of the ones we've watched. That
it really was. Yeah.
So
definitely more than the VHS one from last week.
Yeah, but don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, it was good though.
Yeah,
as was this. Okay. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Have a good one.
If you want to interact with us online, you can check us out on Instagram or Twitter at Amityville Show, or you can send us an email at podcastamityville@gmail.com.